I'm going to be erasing my summer house board soon, but I do want to talk about the Sheena Shea of it all. What about Sheena? Because Sheena is always at the scene of the crime. And then we know that when the news about Scandival broke, Sheena Shea was so in the mix that she ended up going to court like a few times. But we don't really talk about how Sheena Shea was at the scene of the crime when it came to Carl and Lindsay's breakup. So when you watch the show, you know that Carl and Lindsay get together, they get engaged, they are set to walk down the aisle, and then over the summer, we see them slowly start to kind of break up. They go through some troubles. Then Carl calls off the wedding. I mean, he basically says, maybe I'm not ready for this. And then they split. This is a really tough time for Lindsay. She feels devastated and shocked by this. Carl is internalizing it and worried he's going to be the bad guy because this is kind of on the heels of Scandival happening, right? So he doesn't know how the general Bravo population is going to accept him or if they're going to be mad at him. And he's essentially called off his wedding that was supposed to happen summer, then into the fall. They were going to go down to Mexico and get married on this resort. Well, they call off the wedding. I think it was a month before the wedding was supposed to happen. Then Lindsay is home, devastated, crying, and Carl goes on what would have been their wedding trip with Sheena Shea. Because I guess the tickets were non-refundable and people had already planned to go down to this Mexican resort like they did on the last season. Well, the season that Scandival happened where Sheena got married on a Mexican resort. So they were all planning to go to Mexico for Lindsay and Carl's wedding. Well, Carl went ahead and went on that trip, which was probably not in the best taste, right? And he took his mom instead of Lindsay. So he's on this vacation basically on what would have been his wedding weekend. And Sheena Shea is posting from the pool next to his mom. Why? Because Sheena's always at the scene of the crime. And if I'm not mistaken, Lindsay said she was really hurt by this. Like, why is Sheena there? But Sheena was like, well, I'm really good friends with Carl's mom. And of course, I'm going to go be there for his mom. And it's like, Sheena, how are you best friends with everybody? And now, apparently, she's at the scene of the crime for the Vanderpump Villa Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Mauriciano stuff. So it's like Sheena's always there. What about Sheena?